Hey everybody, BAM Collectibles here, back for another statue unboxing review for you. If you can't tell, I am super excited because we're going to be showcasing Box Studio Sasuke. Sliding in here, we have the base, which you can see has a lot of different things that are already pre-installed on there, ready to go. The purple trim around the base has a nice scaly texture to it, and then we'll see Sasuke's name on the front with the Uchiha Clan logo. Sprinkled all throughout the base, we will see the clear, translucent purple resin, which is resembling the base of the Susanoo forming from the bottom of the statue. On the back, we'll see a micro USB port there. There is actually some pre-installed LEDs on here, but you know how BAM does it, right? We like to install some custom LEDs, so stick around to check that out. Bursting from the ground as well, as you can see, is Aura, Sasuke's snake that he summoned during this moment in the show. I mentioned before they did have some pre-installed LEDs. If we change views a little bit and take a look at the top of the statue, we'll see here is where they're at. They're kind of in a circular disc shape up top there. Perfectly placed to be shining upwards on Sasuke's Susanoo once it's formed, and then on the side of the statue, we'll see things are a little bit smoother. That's because Aura's body is going to be going across there. It needs to have a smooth surface to be sure resin isn't scratching against resin. The black blank space in the front is also going to be filled with an effect piece, which we'll show coming up next. To further bring this statue to life, they sculpted many different smoke or dust effect particles that are going to be going onto the base of the statue to showcase like Sasuke just summoned Aura onto the battlefield. It's cool that they sculpted those rocks in there as well because it gives off the effect like it's bursting from the ground. They sculpted these pieces separately because they stick out so far. This one as well sticks off to the right a little bit. It has to be installed after the dust cloud piece because it sits on top and kind of locks the other one into place. One of the things that I love about Naruto statues, or just anime statues in general, is the incorporation of clear resin. We can see the deep dark purple at the bottom goes to more of a light and then very clear towards the tip. We'll get this piece installed and take another look at the other half of Aura. And one of the cool things about it is I always imagined this snake being a purple color, but because there's going to be a lot of purple that's going on in this statue, I'm actually extremely happy that they sculpted it blue. Maybe my memory's failing me right now, but it's crazy cool. Look at all that texturing inside. You can see it does look wet in there. As you can imagine, the fangs on him are extremely sharp. I have to be super careful taking a close look at the eyeball. They're really cool how they added all that detailing in there. And on the very top of the snake is a removable piece where Sasuke is actually going to be sitting, but it's cool because they're going to be making it to where you can have him on it or off it, and you can fill in that gap if you do not want him on top of there. You might be thinking, well, if he's not on top of there, where is he going to be? Well, stick around. There's going to be another thing he's going to be able to connect to. And then there's the actual connection point where it goes on the back there. And look at the scales, right? The scales, the texturing, the coloring. It looks incredible. I love doing this. We get up close and pan down the back of it. But super huge, extremely heavy. And we'll get this bad boy connected. Just like that dust particle, and the effect is coming about because Aura's coming up from the ground. Also, he's just being summoned, and here's more effects are going to be going on the spine of him. We saw those notches earlier that were sitting on there, and these are the two effect pieces that they sculpted to fit into place. Box Studio did a great job at not making the snake look too realistic and too scary. It's just that right amount of anime accuracy. And then the tongue was also sculpted separately, extremely fragile, especially those tips. Steel rod in the back will go ahead and slide that into the mouth. If you look towards the middle back, you will notice a giant seam where both snake pieces connected. Looks bad right now, but as you connect other pieces later on, it completely disappears. Overall, they did a fantastic job at giving a feel like he was just summoned coming from the bottom of the ground. Moving on, we'll take a look at the main body piece for Sasuke Susanoo here. I call this the armored version. Some people call it the humanoid. Which one do you call it? Let me know in the comments below. In the center, it is hollow. That's glorious for being able to customize LEDs. And you'll see these sockets on the side with the notches and the holes to where the arms will later be installed. And of course, it wouldn't be a video without some pug hair on my statue. My dang pug sheds everywhere, but really cool shading of the purples all throughout. You'll see as we bring some lights on it, it's really going to give it a lot more character. The eyes being yellow like that, it's always been one of my favorite parts about this, how bright they shine and how much they just stand out with the statue. I absolutely love how they sculpted these arms on here, because when we connect them, they will look extremely streamless, like it's all one piece naturally. If we flip this over to the side, you'll see some abs were sculpted in there. That's something I never really noticed. See, that's why it's like part of him does have armor, part of him does look like a human, so I guess it is the humanoid version. That's why I'm so torn between calling it the armored or the humanoid version of it. There's a hole right in the center of the hand there. Later, some other effect pieces will be on there. You probably saw a lot of empty notches and holes on there, just like the other arm that we'll be showcasing, because there's several different effect pieces that were sculpted separately that we're going to have to attach. That's another thing that Box Studio did an incredible job with this, is they have a lot of different parts that are installed separately, but as they go on, it looks completely as if it was all sculpted together. Sometimes magnets or steel rods will poke through and it'll look unnatural. Everything is hidden in this statue, which is amazing. Speaking of amazing, we are approaching that threshold of reaching around 150,000 subscribers. Now, I publicly committed that as soon as we hit 150,000, I will be releasing my updated room tour or Naruto collection showcase. So be sure, if you are not subscribed and watching this video, be a part of the solution, not the problem. Now, I'm just messing. If you're enjoying my content, I encourage you to subscribe. If you don't want to, hey, it's all good. As long as you're enjoying yourself here, that's all that matters to me. We'll see Sasuke's Susanoo oddly shaped bow here that was again sculpted separately. And there are multiple different versions of these little flame pieces that are going to be attached to the body. I won't showcase them all because they all look pretty similar, just different shapes and sizes. But we'll speedily go through and get these all attached onto the body. I'm not really sure how they did it, but again, such a great job at hiding all the steel rods that are coming from these little small pieces here. As you can tell already, he is in the stance to perfectly wield an arrow, and here's the bottom round flame piece of that. A large steel rod is going to be used to go through that hole that we saw in the hand, positioned right about this angle right here, so it goes all the way through and it'll connect to the bottom of the arrow that we'll see here. Perfectly sculpted, looks like it's actually on fire, and then the very tip there looks extremely powerful. If I recall right, in this moment he also combined this move with the Amaterasu flames to be extremely deadly. You'll see the steel rod goes right into that hole, and then obviously the gap in the center is going to be filled by the hand that's going to be holding it. Part of me does wish that it was holding it in a way to where the arrow was pointing downwards to the bow, like he's about to shoot it off. But now thinking about it, it probably would have gotten in the way where Sasuke would be sitting, so it makes sense that it does have to face upward. We have also that third arm that sits on the side of Sasuke's right arm, and then we'll go ahead and get that connected. No need to look at it too closely. This piece did need a little bit of blue tack on the steel rod portion to make sure it's stuck in there, and it did have to be installed last because it sits right under that round flame piece on the bottom of the arrow. With all the pieces installed, it is time to dim the lights and take a look at the stock lights that were included with this statue. Looks pretty decent out of the box, right? There's a light shining up through the center and two on the sides as well. But I love to bring a little bit more character to this because it's only shining through the center portion. And I'm going to bring in my LED strip lights here. And what I do is you can actually take a look at this video that I'll link up top here and check it out for yourself. But I'm actually going to be skipping the whole process of installing these. We're going to dim the lights. 30 minutes is going to go by for me, about 3 seconds for you. I hope you're ready. It's going to be awesome looking. Up in the top left corner is going to be the actual setting that I used for each of these here, and you can take a look. I always like to ask in the comments if there's a specific one that stood out to you that you thought was your favorite. Let me know. I love to hear it, and sometimes it sways and changes the way that I actually end up displaying it in my main collection. Here's how it looks when we bring the lights on as well. It's time to bust out some Naruto CCG, and because today's video is very special to me, it's a large and endearing statue. I usually do 1 pack per character, but today we're going to be doing an awesome opening of this Sasuke tin that you see here. There's actually going to be 4 packs in here, and 4 packs that are rare ones too. They're rare of the kind of the newer sets that came out, but it's really difficult to find these. Be sure to stick around for the whole pack opening. I will make a small announcement at the end of it where we're going to be doing a small giveaway, so stick around for that. Here we have this awesome Sasuke Chibi card. Now, when I was first opening these up, I thought it was just Sasuke in there, but behind him is none other than Itachi, huh? How cool is that? So 2 promo cards here. And again, stick around. We'll talk about these after we open up some packs. I always love these style cards compared to the older ones because I think they're what's called full art cards. So the card itself, it doesn't have much of a border on there and it has that awesome looking background. So 4 packs ready to go, and I cannot wait to show you what's inside these bad boys. What's cool is both of these packs are going to be themed after the Pain Invasion arc, and so different cards we've seen before. And right off the bat, we have a Sasuke, right? Perfect. It's not a super rare, but still a super cool looking card. Shikamaru looking all hot. We got Ma, and then what is our rare for the pack? There we go. If anyone ever wonders why I do audio over this, it's because typically downstairs I have a dehumidifier running, my daughter's running around upstairs making noise, so you never know what's going to happen. I always like to record things after the fact. It's just the way that I have to go and do things. Man, some of these awesome and incredible looking arts on these cards. And there's our rare Sasuke at the Great Naruto Bridge, another fitting card for this unboxing. Pretty cool to get my hands on some of these rare packs, and I was hoping, of course, to at least land one SR, and there it is right there. And we have a Mangekyo Sharingan super rare for Kakashi, and I always love to get the character super rares more than these, but if you're gonna get something, pull something as epic and cool as that, huh? Chunin Exam Sasuke, probably one of my favorite outfits he wore in the show. It's Hugo, Ino, Sasuke again, and then our rare for the pack is Monkey King Enma, and of course I always drop cards. Every single one, I always end up dropping something. Really appreciate those who support this part of the video. I know it can be random for some people. There's a lot of people I'm amazed that I don't actually know that Naruto cards even existed or were out. Of course, they're not in stock now. It's not something they keep around in stores because they've been out of print for a while. But it's incredible to see how many people are being introduced to these for the first time, which I can't wait to hopefully one day they have Naruto cards come back into stores. I mentioned before that we're going to be doing a small giveaway, and what we're going to be doing is the first 12 hours, I'm going to select a random comment from the video, and they're going to get the Sasuke, and in 24 hours, I'm going to select another random comment, and whoever it gets is going to get Itachi. So be sure to leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on the statue or anything about it. Here we have Sasuke's sculpt. Incredible how much was actually already put together. There's not really anything separate except for the Chidori and his sword, which I'm going to keep the Chidori on there because it's in there pretty tight. They chose that perfect stance for him as if he's just summoning the snake onto the battlefield. And then we'll take a look at the really clean paint job all around, right? The zipper on his chest, and the Chidori itself, as I mentioned, is removable. But I'm going to leave it in there because when it actually fit in there, it was so tricky to get in. But once it did get in, it was really snug. And we'll see those paint decal stickers that are on his eyes. They look great as well. His cheeks look a little chubby to be, not too bad. On the back, we have that perfect Uchiha clan symbol, and then on the rope piece, you'll see that hole in there. That's later where his sword is going to be inserted. Incredible sculpting job with how everything has all the wrinkles built into the outfit. Looks extremely realistic, but there is Sasuke. I've said it before and I'll say it again, it's amazing when they sculpt things out of real materials. So this sword is real steel. It's extremely heavy, durable, it can't be bent, and it fits right into the sheath there. They didn't even need to make it do this, right? It sits in the back of his rope. And so, but they took the extra effort to cast it out of real steel and stick it in the back of him. So such a cool touch. Box Studio, I'm telling you, you have blown me away with this statue. Looks great when installed, and before we do install him, we actually have to remove that notch that was on top, and we'll go ahead and key him into place. Lots of different angles and ways that you could display this. Here is how he looks facing head on. If you recall in the beginning, I said there was 2 different ways that you can display Sasuke with this statue. We'll see on the bottom there, that awesome looking silhouette. And then here is a separate base that they included that you can put Sasuke on if you would like. A really cool option that they included in giving you options in the way that you can display your collectibles. As a freebie, they also included this Sasuke bust here. Now, this isn't something that you can install separately. They have a stand here with Sasuke's name on there, but just a complete freebie that you can display on the side if you would like. Keys into the back there and then stands up perfectly. And if including Sasuke as a freebie wasn't enough, they give you a Naruto. So you have two different miniature busts of Naruto and Sasuke from this scene. Really over the top, Box Studio. You really, as if you needed to put the sprinkles on the icing on the cherry of the cake, you guys did it with all these different things that you did to take things to the next level. For the edition size nameplate or plaque, they did mimic that of Sume's in having this metal stand, so pretty basic, but something that doesn't take up too much space if you want to display it next to your statue. Something extra that was also included is this very large dust or cloud piece that can be installed onto the back of the statue. Now, I saved it for one of the last pieces that we'll showcase because I actually don't like it on the statue, and I love that I can leave it off and it doesn't really take away or show any large holes or gaps missing. But here's some close-ups of it, and I'll go ahead and get this on the back so you can see it's going to give it a lot of extra height, and it almost makes it too busy for me. Let me know if you feel the same or if you actually like it when it's installed onto the statue. There is how it looks, and we'll go ahead and turn the lights on for this as well. It's crazy how it looks like this thing is actually alive with how realistic it makes it look. I hope you enjoyed yourself today. I enjoyed sharing this statue with you. Again, if you haven't already, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and as always, everybody, do what you love and love what you do. Bam out.